everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jordan and today we're going to be talking about how to grow a booktube channel. Now this is not going to be a traditional tips video where I tell you that you need good lighting and good thumbnails because I'm pretty sure that is fairly intuitive. Instead, we're going to be dissecting the booktube community. I'm going to be talking about where I think booktube is headed, and we're going to be discussing ways that you can help to grow your channel. Now obviously I'm not one of the biggest booktubers on the platform, so you may be wondering why I think I'm qualified to talk about this, and that is because I have grown quite quickly compared to a lot of new booktubers, and I can attribute that to a few things which I will discuss today. So let's just dive in. Booktube is very niche. It's not like the vlogging, beauty, or video game communities, which are absolutely huge, and in some ways that can actually kind of suck because there is a definite ceiling to this community. For example, the biggest booktuber, Christine from Poland Bananas Books, has just under 400,000 subscribers as of filming this video. And while that is big, it is tiny compared to top creators in other types of YouTube. If you're just starting out though, or if your channel's still fairly small, this being a niche community can actually be a great thing. It means that the competition is a lot less fierce, and while the booktube community is growing steadily, there's still a lot of room for new and or small creators to grow. There are a lot of smaller creators that are really carving a name out for themselves in the booktube community, and most of them fall into one of two categories. And this isn't surprising because, as with any branch of YouTube, there are trends and things go in and out of style. For example, 8 years ago, short comedy style videos were very popular, but now longer form videos that are more personal, emotional, and or genuine are a lot more popular. A creator that really exemplifies this change is Dawson, who used to make short comedy style videos but now has been making documentary style videos that are performing super well. He's grown with the changes of YouTube. But because booktube is so small, so niche, and so new, there hasn't really been much of a change or evolving of content. That being said, I think that's starting to shift. For a long time now, the content that has been the backbone of this community has been TBRs, or to be reads, book hauls, wrap-ups, tags, and reviews. These videos are what made the biggest booktubers popular, but the shift that we've started to see in other communities has started to trickle into this community. The unfortunate truth is, if you only make this type of content, you're likely not going to grow quickly or consistently, because audiences get content fatigue. So they are much more likely to watch these types of videos from creators they already know and love. Therefore, newer and or smaller channels have to make content that is different. But how do you do that? Well, all channels should be creating a few different types of content. The first I like to call discovery content, and this is the videos that will get new viewers to your channel. And ideally, these videos will be as relevant today as they are in 5 years. While this content may not get as many views as some of your other content, which isn't always the case, it is supposed to have longevity. Reviews and lists are great discovery content in booktube. Book reviews do not lose relevance, as there will constantly be people who are picking up that book for the first time and wanting to know more about it, or people who just want to know what people are saying about that book. I've heard a lot of people say that reviews are the least viewed videos on their channel, and I'm going to discuss why that might be later, but regardless, they are prime discovery content and should be treated as such. Lists are also great discovery content, especially because a lot of the times they have names that make people want to click. Things like top 10 fantasy books, or popular books I don't like, or 5 tropes that I hate are all clickbait gold, and they will draw new viewers in consistently, especially if the video title is something similar to a bigger booktuber's video title of a list video, because then you might get into the watch next bar. Other good discovery content is educational content. Like, for example, I would classify this video as a discovery video for my channel because someone who may not be familiar with my channel or who I am will click on it regardless if they want to know more about the booktube community or growing in the booktube community especially, which may even be you. When making these videos, they should be polished but show some personality. You want people to find you, then get drawn in by the good content, and then subscribe because of your personality. What is absolutely vital in these videos, which I've been learning, is that they should have a really short intro. This is not the type of video that you want to do a life update or a long intro for, because people will click away. Moving on, the next type of content that I would like to talk about that should be on your channel is what I call channel staples. This is content that is consistently on your channel. Like, for example, a series or a specific type of video. These videos are like a promise and will keep your subscribers coming back for more. Like, for example, on my channel I have Trope Talks where I discuss tropes in depth. It's something that is somewhat unique in the community, something that I really enjoy, and something that my subscribers can expect from me consistently. Another example of this is Paperbackdreams' Dramatic and Problematic series, or the Authentic Observer series on the Mortal Instruments books. This is where you can get really personal with your content. This is the content for your subscribers and where they can start getting to know you and your community. This is why reading vlogs are another great channel staple, but really anything that's on brand with the content that you create can be great as a channel staple. Make sure that you enjoy creating that type of video though, because obviously you'll be making a lot of it if you plan to make it a consistent part of your channel. The next type of video that is essential for growth, or especially rapid growth, is the trendy or popular content. This is the stuff that gets major views, but you have to have your finger on the pulse of what's going on in the community as well as what's coming down the pipeline. And I get it, this might not be the most interesting type of content to you, but you have to make it interesting. For example, I probably wouldn't have read Zenith right away had it not been written by two booktubers that are really relevant in the community. I knew it would likely be a hot topic, so I put everything on hold so that I could get my review out as quickly as possible. And it worked. It's my most viewed video to date. Things like discussion videos also fall into this category. It likely won't stay relevant for long, but if it's something that the community is talking about, you'll likely get new eyes on you. The thing is, time is of the essence with these videos because likely they'll only stay relevant for a week or two. And these videos get saturated really quickly, so you need to be fast because again, there is a ton of content fatigue when the same things are being discussed over and over. The last type of content that I'd like to talk about is passion content, and this is actually not essential to growth or being successful, but it is important for staying motivated and inspired and wanting to create. This content may not be on brand, nor will it likely get as many views as your other content, but it's there to fulfill you creatively, which is super important. The thing is, this content should be minimal compared to the other content on your channel though, because you want to be building a brand. People subscribe to you for your brand, and they'll likely put up with a little bit of content that doesn't necessarily fit, but only a little. Examples of this type of content are non-book related vlogs, lifestyle content, makeup content, music videos, or in my case, I do subscriber specials. They can be really fun videos, but just make sure to keep them in check. So moving on, as I said earlier, a lot of the channels that are really successful and blowing up right now fall into one of two categories. And those two categories are number one, humor and original content, and number two, unfiltered and educational content. So let's break that down. One creator that's growing really fast right now is Caleb from Insane Reader, and that's because his content is super original and funny, and he's like no one else on Booktube. He falls primarily into category one, humor and originality, but he also has some unfiltered reviews as well as Booktube discussion videos. His staple content is the comedic book-related content, such as his book wedding or recreating Bookstagram photos. And his trendy content is the popular new release reviews as well as the Booktube discussion videos. He has a really great balance of content on his channel, and it really feels like each video comes from a place of passion, so it feels like all of his videos kind of fall into the passion category, which is awesome, and each time he posts I get really excited to see what he's come up with next. Another booktuber that I feel falls into this category is Books and Lala. Lala creates a lot of more backbone booktube community videos such as the TBRs, the wrap-ups, etc. But she also has some really original content that she brings to the table. Things like I Try Following Another Booktuber's TBR, which is a play on I Try Following Another YouTuber's makeup tutorial, and buying 5 books that look like my favorite books. And I would classify this as her trendy content because a lot of the times they're plays off of what is big in other communities in YouTube. The other type of creator that I see blowing up right now are the creators that create unfiltered content. What I mean by unfiltered content is the honest, thorough reviews and discussion videos that really get you to think. The truth of the matter is this: all of the top booktubers are sponsored by or partnering with booksellers or publishing houses. So they, for the most part at least, choose not to do really in-depth and thorough negative reviews because that would obviously put their partnerships and sponsorships in jeopardy. And I'm not saying that these creators are being dishonest, they're doing really well for themselves. I'm just saying they're super selective with the content that they put up on their channel, which is totally fine. But it does create a market for people that are looking for really honest, thorough, and sometimes brutal reviews of books. This content needs to be grounded and genuine though. People can sense when you're just ranting for the sake of ranting and you're not genuinely discussing or dissecting the work. That's why creators like The Authentic Observer are doing so well. She is really thorough and meticulous in providing evidence from the text to support her feelings on the story. She doesn't have a ton of videos out yet, so there's a lot of crossover between the different types of content that she makes. Like, for example, her discovery content is definitely her reviews, but that also crosses over into her channel staples because she has the Mortal Instruments series review. And then that also kind of crosses over into her trendy content as well as her discussion on femininity in storytelling. Another good example of an unfiltered channel though is Casey Aonso. She is absolutely brilliant and it's no wonder that she's doing so well for herself because she's consistent, she has plenty of personality, and her reviews are always really in-depth even though she is ranting. Her rant reviews are definitely her staple content as well as her discovery content, but she also has a lot of lists which go into the discovery content as well. She does have some passion content on her channel as well with things such as Music Mondays or makeup related videos. They are few and far between though, and she definitely knows her brand and is consistent with that. Finally, the last person I'd like to talk about is Squibbles Reads. Before she went on hiatus, she was blowing up, and that is because she creates a lot of unfiltered discussion videos as well as reviews. Some of the most popular videos on her channel are her discussions about books and especially the booktube community. I would also classify myself in this category as I strive to make content that is both educational and reviews that are thorough and evidence-based. I think this is also the reason that people find that their reviews aren't doing super well. My reviews are by and large my most popular content, but that's because they're very thorough and in-depth, and I think people are really craving that. I've found that shorter, less thorough reviews are not performing well right now. And I can say that with confidence because I did a series of reviews over a week that were shorter form and less in-depth, and they performed really poorly compared to a lot of the other reviews on my channel. Now, I said that this was not going to be a classic tips video, and the next thing that I'm going to talk about seems very intuitive, but personality is so essential. It's something that I struggle with because I don't have one, but it is really important. Practice is key, and it's important to find what works for you. For example, I think that scripting my videos is really important because I do like to go really in depth in all of my discussions and reviews, so I like to have it all written out, and then I don't necessarily read the script word for word, but at least I have it so that I can stay on track. Your content should be reflective of your personality. For example, if you're funny, congratulations, use it. If you're sarcastic, bring that into your reviews, make them interesting and different. If you're analytical, use that to your advantage and do deep dives into books or into the community and discussions. Confidence is key. Before I wrap this up though, I feel like it's important to say that this is just my take. It's what I've observed with my own content as well as with other people's content in the community. I would also like to give a shout out to William, who has created a list of booktubers, and every single month on Reddit he'll post their subscribers at around the same date, so you can track your progress or your subscriber growth, I guess, from month to month, which has been really useful to me in seeing my growth and what kind of content I've put out in those months and what has performed really well. So I just like to cross-reference that with my own channel analytics. So thank you to William, and I'm going to link the Reddit account Booktube Catalogue in the description down below if you're curious about that. Also, I am definitely not saying that you should never do booktube content that is more generic, like the TBRs, the wrap-ups, that kind of thing. That can be staple content for your channel, but I just think that you should push yourself to do other content if you are looking to grow and are a smaller creator. Alright guys, so that is all I have for you today. Thank you so much for tuning into this video. If you liked it, please give it a like and subscribe to my channel. I would also love to hear your thoughts on where you think Booktube is headed, because obviously I shared some of my thoughts as to where I see Booktube going, what content I see performing well, but I would love to hear what your favorite content to watch is, as well as where you think Booktube is going. I just find all of the analytics and trends so fascinating to look at and learn about, so I would love to hear your thoughts. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you next time.